Hi everyone. Not my usual music, I know. Just a bit of Lou Reed. You hit me with the flower. Just to warm me up a bit, physically. Get my energies going. Some of you might even know, or not know, who Lou Reed is. When is that? 1972, wasn't it? Yeah, that's my age. Gosh. I think I'll stop it now. Oh, hi guys, Anne here, welcome back, if you've come back of course. And that was another little piece of music that I'd like to build up my energies with. Seems quite good that. Hope you don't mind it. It's different, this non-copyright stuff, it's hard to find. But anyway, 5 techniques I promised you. And here we go, to bend. Bend? Yeah, bend your focus. Focus, this is transition day. We'll call it a transition day. Well, to be honest, we can't suddenly dismiss any worries that we've had or still have in some way, you know, if we're all coming out of something, of course, any heavy stuff, any tricky stuff, we all do, guys. But we can soothe them out, smooth them out a bit. Of course we can't be a box of fluffy white bunnies or koala bears and all other cute things that are relative. Not every day, or maybe one sometimes we can be a little fluffy bunny. Anyway, it is about transition. It is a process when we're using these 5 techniques. And while you meditate, and I hope you are for those 10 minutes, I've actually moved on to 15 now. And I do it outside while I'm walking. And what I do now is I remind myself or focus on those things that I love the most, you know, things that have maybe happened, an incident with people or, you know, whatever it is. You know, you just don't want to focus on, like I won't focus on my first husband, put it like that. Or the second for that matter. Sorry, that's a little joke, guys, if you're listening. If any of the husbands are listening, that is. You've got to laugh. I know I am. Well, moving on briskly. Just a little joke there, guy. Seriously, though, things you love, yeah? Like your family and your children, your grandchildren, or, you know, those special times with anyone, friends, small acts that you've witnessed as well. Just witnessing someone do something for someone else is really a lovely thing. You know, and picking things that went well for you recently, you know, surprisingly well. Some things do, don't they? You're like, oh, that's better than I expected. How did that happen? So that's all good. That's all very important if you are trying to defocus. Anyway, I don't want to go on too much about that. So bend that focus bit by bit, yeah, towards something like my little French lady back in my childhood said, Lucette, yeah, when I was a kid. She's, you know, her little garden of growth, your personal garden. It's all your mind that grows. It won't happen overnight, but it grows steadily to what you do. You know, I can assure you of that, because what you focus on, you become more of. So we are what we repeatedly think. Who said that? Someone said that. Since time immemorial then. Who said that? Oh yeah, Aristotle. And it's not the Aristotle Onassis. It's not him, although he might have said that. It's the other one. The Greek philosopher, that's it. Although I dare say Onassis was named after the Greek philosopher then, probably was. But, or maybe it's just a common name in Greece. Sorry, do digress. I will be now moving on to the 5 techniques. 5 ways to help you soothe out the days. You know, you're just investing in yourself. Just by listening to various things like this is investing in yourself. That's the way I see it. So the techniques, darlings, here they are. And this will really help you transition into anything you're wanting, you have specific in your mind to go forward with, right? So number 1, you connecting. You know, see your own integrity and communicate with your friends, your family, out meetings, out with people, workmates, colleagues, everyone, even out with those people you know. It opens up so much more awareness of being around new people. And who knows who you might meet. And you're connecting yourself with them. And they all, you know, that will actually then make you more active without even thinking about it. And that's the second one, being active. you know. You're being creative in your activity, even if it's just sitting down and writing, you know. You have your needs and you have desires. We all do, I do. And sometimes, you know, I go off channel. I'm like, what is it? I feel a little bit agitated. So I'll sit down and write, actually, and wonder to myself, what is it that I want to do? What would make me feel good? You know, immerse yourself into them. That's what I try to do, even by doing this, I suppose. So don't waste time. You know, go out and walk and run and have a bit of fun. Stop off, have a coffee, phone anyone. You know, these new meetup groups are really good. You just don't know who you might meet. And they do so many different meetup groups for different subjects. You're bound to find something that maybe will stimulate you or fall into what you really are passionate about. At least if you don't know what you're passionate about, try and find that out. I've said that before. Find out what ticks your box, you know. Just carry on painting the house. Yeah, paint the house. Go up, buy the pot of paint, interact, connect with the guy who's selling your paint. See what he's got to say for himself. Yeah, so keep learning. Keep learning, in other words. So as I say, they're all entwined, really. Number one, you're connecting. Number two, you're being active. And number three, keep learning. Even if it's just with, well, like me, I love to listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza, you know. And to be honest, it doesn't matter what the subject is, or who's talking about it. There's some people that you can interact more than others, you know, but you can always learn something, and it might lead to something else, or it might wake you up to something that you're looking for, you know. Find that something you're passionate about, and that way you possibly master it, because you need to be passionate about it to master it. You know, it's in you to do that. Be yourself, and it's good for the brain, you know, all those synaptic connections. That's what Dr. Joe says, the synaptic connections. Learn something new, gives you a new experience, and then the brain, all those neurons, well, they're all firing and wiring together. That's healthy. It can't not be. So number 4, you give. You give. That is so good. Just give a little love, a little love. In the words of the Bay City Rollers, isn't it? Yeah, crikey, there's a flipping blasting of the past. If anybody's a certain age, you'll remember the Bay City Rollers, Scottish Glasgow group, wasn't it? Give a little love. Anyway, better not go there. But giving it enriches us all on a very personal level, and it deepens our connection with humanity. That sounds quite profound, but you know, it's simple in those terms as well. It does help you connect with humanity. So there, as I say, you know, you're connecting, you're being active, you keep learning, and you give. Because when you're learning, you want to give as well, don't you? Because it's information. You're like, I must tell such and such that. So you're taking notice, and that's the 5th one. Take notice. Look around you, you know. It will astound you. I always say things that I'm sure are a line from a song. Change your heart. Don't know what that is. Somebody can drop me a line and tell me. Seriously though, and I am always being serious, just a little bit digression there, you must slow down just a little to take stock of your own hidden talents, your own gifts. They're all around you. It's just that sometimes we're too busy to notice them. And that is what the meditation does. It stops you. It stops you in your tracks, and you're taking stock of what is present in your life now. I like that. And that's what I think when I go off for my walk and I want my 10 to 15 minutes of focus. Yeah, my focus. But anyway, there we are. That is the 5 techniques. That number 1, you want to connect. Number 2, be active. 3, keep learning. And 4, give, you know, really give. It's something incredibly powerful. Giving is incredibly powerful. And number 5, take notice. Everything around you. Be observant, you know, wonder to yourself. It's in being really enthusiastic, I suppose, isn't it? about different things that are around you and expanding on them. Instead of, it's nice to take stock of yourself and what's in your life. Like I say, being in that sort of the centre of the hurricane, the eye of the hurricane. You're in the centre, the chaos is around you. But there's also other things that are around you that you want to take stock of. It's not all chaos, is it? So there's me sort of contradicted that little analogy, but you know what I'm saying, Don't miss everything that is good around you. There's so much of it. So there we go, the 5 techniques. I hope I've elaborated there a little bit. As I say, we all will have bad times. That is always the case. Oh, and that guy Onassis, he did say something kind of like Aristotle himself. He said, it's during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Ha! How's about that? Even Onassis was at it, giving these words of wisdom. A life hack, so to speak. But anyway, the bad times, well, whatever you want to call them. But they will always, amazingly enough, wake you up to the good stuff, It's simple. The good stuff that you weren't paying attention to. Life's too short to miss them. So, or take them for granted, in fact. Yeah. So that is one good thing about that. It just wakes you up to the good stuff. I like that as well. That's me bending focus again. I'm always bending something. Well, so to speak, excuse the expression. So that's me came to an end again. And what will we discuss next time? Well, I was reading, by the time we reach the age of 35, we have become a set of memorised behaviours. That's really weird, isn't it? It's really quite awesome to think about that. Neuroboffins say, nerve cells that fire together wire together. So, in other words, your body is doing it better than your brain. Work that out. 95% of who we are exists because of that. So every time we learn something, it's really good to do because you're changing your mind. New thoughts should lead to new experiences, like I said earlier, and new choices. And the process of change, this process of change requires you to become conscious of your unconscious state. Yeah, I know it gets all a little bit up there and paradoxical, but you know what? You want to be doing the best you can for yourself, for your own personal reality. But conscious of your unconscious state quite simply means what? Yeah, the meditate, or taking 10 minutes to sit and hear yourself breathe. And then you will be conscious of what you're really thinking, or not thinking, whatever the case may be. Because it's those behaviours that you want to change, some of them that you want to change. So you have to decide what belongs in your future, quite simply, What is the greatest ideal of yourself? What will it be? And something unusual will happen in your life. That's the rule. That's what happens, and it really does. So taking that 10 minutes to refocus or defocus, bend the focus. Think about those things that you feel you want changed. Your reality will change. You can't help but go from old self to new self when you do that. Just by using your meditation, your 10 minutes, whatever it might be, along with the 5 techniques of creating things around you day to day, changing those behaviours you want to change, decide what does belong with you in your future, and all these new thoughts will bring new experiences. That's all in a nutshell. But we'll talk further about that the next time. So thanks for joining. See you again. I'll leave you with a little bit more of Lou Reed, just because I like him.